You wake slowly, gently, to the soft rustle of reeds around your canoe. The morning mist rises from Lake Texcoco like whispered prayers, drifting upward toward the pale sky. Your wooden vessel rocks with the gentlest motion, back and forth, as if the great lake itself is breathing beneath you. The year is 1487, and you are a young cacao tender in the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan. The water around you shimmers with the first light of dawn, catching tiny diamonds of sunlight that dance and disappear in endless, peaceful rhythm. Your fingers trail in the cool water, feeling the silk-smooth surface part around your hand. The lake is warm, welcoming, alive with the quiet stirring of fish and water birds. Somewhere in the distance, a heron calls, its voice soft and low, echoing across the still water like a lullaby. You breathe deeply, drawing in the morning air. It carries the scent of water lilies, their white petals floating like stars on the dark surface. The flowers have names in your language, Nahuatl. You whisper them softly to yourself, Atlaquizoni. The word rolls gently off your tongue, like honey, like morning dew. The canoe is carved from a single cypress tree, its wood worn smooth by countless journeys across these sacred waters. Your grandfather carved it, and his grandfather before him. The wood remembers their hands, as it now remembers yours. Around you, the chinampas stretch like a green tapestry across the lake. These floating gardens, built by your ancestors, rise just above the water's surface. Long rectangular islands of fertile earth, held in place by willow trees whose roots grow deep into the lake bed. The willows sway gently, their long branches trailing in the water, creating soft shadows that move like living things. On the chinampas, you can see the first stirrings of the day's work. Farmers wade through the shallow channels, their movements slow and deliberate, tending to crops of maize and beans, amaranth and squash. The plants grow thick and green, nourished by the rich lake water, their leaves heavy with morning dew. Your destination lies ahead, through the network of canals that connect the Great Lake to the heart of Tenochtitlan. But for now, you simply float, letting the current guide you gently forward. The water makes soft sounds against the sides of your canoe, little lapping whispers, like a mother's voice singing you to sleep. A duck swims near, its feathers dark and glossy, leaving a small wake that spreads in perfect V-shapes behind it. You watch the ripples grow wider and wider until they reach the edges of the canal and disappear into the reeds. Everything here moves with purpose, but without hurry, in the ancient rhythm of the lake. The sun climbs higher, and the mist begins to thin. Through the clearing air, you catch your first glimpse of the city. Tenochtitlan rises from the lake like a dream made stone, its pyramids and temples reaching toward the sky. The great Templo Mayor stands at the center, its twin staircases climbing toward the heavens, where the gods of rain and sun make their home. But even from this distance, the city seems to sleep. The stone buildings rest peacefully in the morning light, their surfaces smooth and warm, built from the pink-grey stone of the lake bed. Gardens cascade down the sides of the pyramids, green terraces where flowers bloom in every colour, where the air is sweet with the scent of jasmine and morning glory. You paddle gently, your movements small and quiet, barely disturbing the water. The wooden paddle slips through the surface like silk, creating tiny whirlpools that spin and fade in hypnotic patterns. Each stroke takes you closer to the city, but there is no rush, no urgency, only the peaceful rhythm of water and wood, breath and movement. A fish jumps nearby, its silver body catching the light for just a moment before disappearing back into the depths. The splash is soft, musical, like a single note played on a water drum. Circles spread outward from where it jumped, growing larger and larger, until they too fade into the gentle movement of the lake. You think of your work today, tending the sacred cacao trees in the temple gardens. The cacao, chocolatl, is the food of the gods, the drink that connects the earth to the sky. The trees grow in the sheltered courtyards of the temples, their broad leaves providing shade for the priests and nobles who come to pray. The pods hang heavy from the branches, dark red and purple, filled with the precious beans that will become chocolate. But thoughts of work drift away like the morning mist, replaced by the simple pleasure of being here, now, floating on the sacred waters of your ancestors. The lake holds memories, stories, the whispers of all who have traveled these waters before you. You are part of that story, part of the endless flow of life and water, time and dreams. The canoe rocks gently, and you close your eyes for a moment, feeling the sun warm your face. The light filters through your eyelids, creating patterns of gold and amber, like looking through honey, like floating in liquid sunlight. Your breathing slows, deepens, matching the rhythm of the water, the pulse of the lake beneath you. Somewhere in the distance, temple bells ring, their bronze voices carrying across the water. The sound is soft, muffled by the mist. Like bells heard in a dream, they ring the hour, marking the passage of time. But time moves differently here on the lake, slower, more gently, like honey dripping from the spoon. A butterfly lands on the edge of your canoe, its wings bright orange and black, the sacred colours of the fire god. It rests there for a moment, wings opening and closing slowly, like breathing, like the gentle pulse of a sleeping heart. Then it lifts away, dancing on the morning breeze, carrying your prayers with it toward the rising sun. The water around you is so clear you can see the bottom, the dark mud where lake grass grows in long ribbons, swaying back and forth in the current. Small fish dart between the stems, their scales catching tiny fragments of light. Everything moves in harmony in the ancient dance of water and life. You paddle on, following the canal that leads toward the city. The waterway is lined with flowering trees, their blossoms pink and white, falling like snow onto the water's surface. The petals float beside your canoe, a carpet of beauty that will dissolve back into the lake, becoming part of the endless cycle of growth and return. As you drift, you remember the stories your grandmother told you about the first people who came to this lake, guided by the vision of an eagle perched on a cactus, eating a serpent. They built their city here, in the middle of the water, creating a place where earth and sky, water and fire could meet in perfect balance. The canal narrows, and you enter a quieter section where the water barely moves. Here, the silence is deep, profound, broken only by the gentle drip of water from your paddle and the soft sigh of wind through the reeds. You feel held, cradled by the ancient spirits of this place. Your canoe passes beneath a bridge, its stone arch reflected perfectly in the still water. The reflection wavers gently, like looking into a dream, like seeing the world through water. For a moment, you cannot tell which is real, the bridge above or its image below. Both seem equally true, equally beautiful. The morning grows warmer, and you remove your cotton cloak, folding it carefully in the bottom of the canoe. The fabric is soft, dyed with cochineal, the deep red colour of sunset, of ripe cacao pods, of the sacred blood of the earth. You run your fingers over the woven patterns, feeling the skill of the women who created it, their prayers woven into every thread. Ahead you see other canoes, their occupants moving with the same gentle rhythm you have found. No one speaks, but there is communication in the shared silence, in the common reverence for this sacred time, this sacred place. You are all part of the same current, the same flow, the same dream of water and sky. A great blue heron stands motionless in the shallows, its reflection perfect. You pass a small island where copal trees grow, their resin used for incense in the temples. The trees are heavy with morning dew, their leaves silver in the early light. The air around them is sweet, mysterious, carrying the scent of prayers and dreams. You breathe deeply, drawing the fragrance into your lungs, into your heart. The canal opens into a wider channel, and you can see the city more clearly now. The buildings rise into races, each level connected by broad steps, by gardens where flowers bloom in careful patterns. The architecture flows like water, following the natural contours of the land, creating harmony between human creation and divine design. But even as the city draws closer, you feel no urgency. The morning is still young, still full of possibility. The cacao trees will wait. The temple gardens will wait. The entire world will wait for this moment of perfect peace to complete itself. Your paddle moves through the water, creating gentle eddies that catch the light. Each stroke is a meditation, a prayer, a connection to the ancient rhythms of your people. The wood of the paddle is warm in your hands, polished smooth by use, alive with memory. A school of small fish swims beneath your canoe, their silver bodies flashing in the sunlight. They move as one, turning and diving in perfect coordination, like a single organism, like the thoughts in a dreaming mind. You watch them disappear into the depths, carrying your wondering with them. The sun climbs higher, and the last of the mist begins to fade. But the peace of the morning remains, settling into your bones, into your breath, into the rhythm of your heart. You are floating on sacred waters in sacred time, held by the love of ancestors, guided by the wisdom of the lake. Your canoe rocks gently, and you let your eyes drift closed again. The warmth of the sun on your face, the soft sound of water against wood, the gentle motion of floating, all combine to create a perfect moment of rest. Your breathing becomes deeper, slower, matching the eternal rhythm of the lake. In the distance, temple bells ring again, their bronze voices soft and welcoming. They call you toward the city, toward your work, toward the sacred cacao trees. But for now, you simply float, suspended between water and sky, between sleeping and waking, between the world of dreams and the world of morning light. The lake holds you, rocks you, sings to you in the ancient language of water and wind. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you drift, peacefully, gently, into the embrace of the sacred waters, where all dreams are born and all peace begins. You wake from your gentle floating dream as your canoe bumps softly against the stone quay. The canal has carried you to the heart of Tenochtitlan, where the great temple complex rises like a mountain from the water. Your hands find the rope, wet with lake water, and you tie your vessel to the carved stone post, worn smooth by countless other ropes, other hands, other mornings like this one. The stone steps before you are wide, inviting, carved from the same pink-grey volcanic rock that forms the foundation of the city. Each step has been worn into gentle curves by the feet of pilgrims, priests, and temple workers, their passage over the centuries creating a path that feels alive, breathing, welcoming you home. You climb slowly. There is no hurry here. Each step a small meditation, a quiet prayer. The stone is warm beneath your bare feet, heated by the rising sun, holding the memory of yesterday's light. Your cotton sandals rest in the canoe. You prefer to feel the sacred ground directly, to connect with the earth that holds the temple, that holds the city, that holds your dreams. As you ascend, the gardens reveal themselves, terraced levels of green paradise that flow down the sides of the pyramid like water made of leaves and flowers. The cacao trees grow here, in the protected courtyards, their broad leaves creating pools of cool shade in the warming morning. These are the trees of the gods, brought from the southern forests, transplanted here with infinite care, tended with infinite love. The first tree you approach is ancient. Its trunk thick and gnarled, marked with the scars of many harvests, but its wounds have healed into beautiful patterns, like the decorated skin of a noble, like the wise lines on an elder's face. You place your palm against the bark, feeling the slow pulse of sap, the deep contentment of a tree that has found its perfect home. The leaves above you whisper in the morning breeze, their surfaces broad and glossy, catching and releasing the light in gentle patterns. Each leaf is a hand reaching toward the sun, gathering the energy. That will become chocolate. That will become the sacred drink of priests and nobles. That will connect the earth to the sky. You breathe deeply, and the air fills your lungs with the green scent of growing things, the sweet promise of cacao flowers, the ancient wisdom of trees that have stood here since your grandfather's time. The fragrance is complex, layered, like a song with many voices, each note perfect, each harmony complete. Your daily work begins gently, as it always does. You carry a clay pot filled with water from the sacred spring, water that has been blessed by the priests, water that carries the prayers of the people, The pot is cool in your hands, its surface smooth and unglazed, made by the potters who work near the great market, who shape clay with the same reverence you bring to tending trees. The first tree drinks gratefully, the water disappearing into the dark earth around its roots. You pour slowly, watching the soil darken, seeing the immediate response of the leaves above, how they seem to lift, to breathe more freely, to sing more sweetly in the wind. This is the ancient conversation between human and plant, between earth and sky, between love and growing things. Moving to the next tree, you notice the small yellow flowers that bloom directly from the trunk. Tiny, perfect blossoms that seem to glow with their own inner light. These flowers are the beginning of the cacao pods, the start of the journey that will end in the sacred drink. You touch one gently, feeling its delicate petals, soft as butterfly wings, warm as morning sunlight. The flowers have no scent, or rather, their scent is so subtle it barely exists, like the memory of sweetness, like the whisper of honey, like the breath of sleeping gods. You close your eyes and breathe, trying to capture this almost fragrance, this ghost of perfume that speaks of mysteries, of transformation, of the magic that turns flowers into food for gods. In the corner of the garden, an old priest sits in meditation, his cotton robes white as morning mist, his bare feet resting on a woven mat. He has been here since before dawn. You water the next tree and the next, moving in a rhythm that matches your breathing, that matches the gentle pulse of the morning. Each tree is different. Each has its own personality, its own needs, its own gifts. This one prefers more water. That one grows better in deeper shade. Each one an individual, each one beloved. The garden is laid out in the ancient pattern, the sacred geometry that reflects the movement of the stars, the cycle of the seasons, the eternal dance of creation and return. The paths between the trees curve gently, following the natural flow of water and wind, creating spaces for contemplation, for prayer, for the quiet work of growing things. As you work, you remember the stories, how the god Quetzalcoatl stole the cacao tree from the other gods, brought it to earth as a gift to humanity. The tree was so precious, so sacred, that only nobles and priests could taste its fruit. The beans were used as money, as offerings, as the most precious gift one could give to the gods. But here, in the garden, the trees seem to give themselves freely, their branches heavy with pods in various stages of ripeness. The young pods are green, smooth, shaped like footballs, hanging from the branches like lanterns. As they ripen, they turn red, then purple, then the deep burgundy that signals readiness for harvest. You approach a tree with several ripe pods, their surfaces rough and ridged, their colour the deep red of sunset, of blood, of the sacred earth itself. You run your fingers along the pod's surface, feeling the raised lines that divide it into sections, like a map of some mysterious country, like the pattern of veins in a leaf, like the lines on your own palm. The pod is heavy, full of the precious beans that lie sleeping inside, waiting for the moment of harvest, the moment of transformation. But that moment is not yet. Moving deeper into the garden, you find yourself in a grove of younger trees. their trunks slender, their leaves bright green with youth. These trees were planted when you were a child. You remember the ceremony, the prayers, the careful placement of each seedling in soil mixed with ground jade, with copal resin, with the sacred offerings that would ensure good growth. Now they are tall as a person, their branches spreading wide, their first flowers just beginning to appear. You have watched them grow, season by season, year by year, and they have watched you too, seen you change from child to adult, from student to teacher, from someone who needed guidance to someone who could guide others. The young trees drink deeply, their roots still growing, still exploring the rich soil of the garden. They're hungry for water, for sunlight, for the attention and care that will help them become strong, productive, full of the sacred gifts they carry in their branches. You water them with extra care, extra attention, whispering soft words of encouragement, of love, of hope for their future. The Nahuatl words flow like water, like music, like the ancient songs your grandmother sang to help the corn grow, to help the rain fall, to help the sun shine in its proper season. A butterfly visits the garden, its wings the colour of cacao flowers, pale yellow with darker markings that look like tiny suns. It dances from tree to tree, from flower to flower, carrying pollen, carrying prayers, carrying the magic that turns flowers into fruit. You watch its flight, hypnotic, peaceful, like watching thoughts move through a dreaming mind. The butterfly lands on your hand, its feet so light you barely feel them, its wings opening and closing slowly, like breathing, like the rhythm of your heart. For a moment, you are connected, part of the same web of life that includes the trees, the flowers, the earth beneath your feet, the sky above your head. Then it flies away, up into the canopy, disappearing among the leaves like a living prayer, like a messenger carrying your love to the gods. You watch until it vanishes, then return to your work, to the peaceful rhythm of water and earth, root and branch, human care and divine blessing. The sun climbs higher, and the garden fills with the gentle sounds of the day. Somewhere, a dove calls, its voice soft and low, like a lullaby sung to sleeping children. The leaves whisper their secrets to the wind. The water trickles down into the earth. The flowers open their faces to the light. All of it harmonious, all of it peaceful, all of it part of the same sacred song. You move to the meditation area, where stone benches surround a small pool filled with water lilies. The flowers float on the surface, white and pink, their petals open to the sky, their roots anchored in the dark soil at the bottom. The water is so still, it serves as a mirror, reflecting the sky, the clouds, the face of anyone who looks down into its depths. You sit for a moment, letting the morning peace settle into your bones. The stone bench is warm, comfortable, carved with symbols that tell the story of the cacao tree, its journey from the realm of the gods to the world of humans, its transformation from bitter seed to sweet drink, its role in connecting earth to sky. The pool reflects your face, but the image wavers gently, disturbed by the movement of the water lilies, by the breath of the wind, by the almost imperceptible pulse of the earth itself. You look like a dreamer, peaceful, content, part of the eternal flow of life and water, time and seasons, work and rest, A small fish swims in the pool, its scales catching the light, its movement creating tiny ripples that spread outward in perfect circles. The ripples reach the edges of the pool, touch the stone, and disappear, like thoughts arising and fading in a quiet mind, like prayers offered and received, like the gentle pulse of existence itself. You rise from the bench, return to your work, to the trees that wait with infinite patience for your care. Each tree receives exactly what it needs, no more, no less. Water measured by intuition, by eye. Experience, by the deep knowledge that comes from years of listening to the language of growing things. The garden holds you, embraces you, welcomes you into its ancient rhythm. You are part of its story, part of its breathing, part of its slow dance with the sun and rain, the seasons and the stars. Your work is not separate from the garden. You are the garden. The garden is you. All boundaries dissolved in the gentle flow of morning light. As you move among the trees, you feel their contentment, their deep satisfaction with the life they have been given. They ask for nothing more than what they receive. Water, sunlight, the occasional pruning, the constant presence of someone who understands their needs, their gifts, their sacred purpose. The morning air grows warmer, and you pause in the shade of an ancient tree, its branches spread wide, its leaves creating a canopy of green coolness. You lean against the trunk, feeling its solid strength, its quiet wisdom, its connection to the earth below, to the sky above, to the eternal cycle of growth and rest. Your breathing slows, deepens, matches the slow pulse of the tree, the gentle rhythm of sap rising, leaves breathing, roots drinking from the dark soil. You are held, supported, cradled by the ancient love of growing things, by the patient wisdom of trees that have seen countless seasons, countless storms, countless moments of perfect peace like this one. The temple bells ring in the distance, their bronze voices soft and welcoming, calling the faithful to prayer, to meditation, to the quiet communion with the divine that happens in sacred spaces like this garden. But you are already praying, already in communion, already part of the sacred dance of earth and sky. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you rest against the tree, feeling its ancient strength, its quiet breathing, its deep contentment with the morning light. The garden holds you, rocks you, sings to you, in the language of leaves and water, earth and sky, human love and divine blessing. You drift gently, peacefully, into the embrace of the cacao trees, where all growth is sacred, and all rest is prayer, and all moments are perfect, just as they are. You wake slowly, gently, from your rest among the cacao trees. The morning has grown warmer, the sun higher, and it is time to journey to the great marketplace of Tlatelolco. Your cotton satchel, woven with patterns of butterflies and corn, holds the cacao beans you have been given, payment for your work, currency more precious than gold. The walk to the marketplace follows the ancient causeways, wide stone paths that stretch across the lake like the fingers of a giant hand. These roads connect the island city to the mainland, connect the sacred to the everyday, connect the world of temples to the world of trade and exchange. Your bare feet find the familiar rhythm, step by step, stone by stone, along the causeway that has carried countless pilgrims, countless merchants, countless dreamers like yourself. The stones are warm. As you walk, you pass other travelers, all moving with the same unhurried pace. A group of women carries baskets of flowers, their cotton huipils bright with embroidered birds, their voices soft as they share the morning news. An elderly man walks beside his grandson, both carrying bundles of reeds, their conversation gentle, punctuated by comfortable silences. The marketplace grows larger as you approach, its sounds drifting across the water like music. But these are not harsh sounds, not the shouting of aggressive merchants, but the gentle hum of community, the soft voices of people who have known each other for generations, who understand the sacred nature of exchange, of giving and receiving. You enter Tlatelolco through the main gate, its stone arch carved with symbols of abundance, of harvest, of the gods who bless all fair exchange. The marketplace spreads before you like a city within a city, ordered, peaceful, laid out in sections according to the ancient patterns that reflect the harmony of the cosmos. The first section you enter is devoted to food, to the sustenance that keeps the body strong, the spirit nourished. Here are the vendors of maize, the sacred grain that forms the foundation of all life. The corn is displayed in baskets, kernels white and yellow, red and blue, each color carrying its own medicine, its own blessing, its own connection to the gods. An elderly woman sits beside her baskets, her grey hair braided with ribbons, her weathered hands moving constantly, sorting, arranging, blessing the grain that will become tortillas, tamales, the daily bread of the people. She looks up as you pass, her eyes kind, her smile warm, recognizing a fellow worker in the great dance of sustenance. You pause to admire her corn, running your fingers through the smooth kernels, feeling their weight, their promise, their potential. She speaks softly, telling you about the fields where this corn grew, the rain that nourished it, the hands that harvested it, the prayers that blessed it from seed to kernel. Moving deeper into the food section, you find vendors of beans, of squash, of chili peppers that range in color from green to red to purple. Each variety carrying its own heat, its own flavor, its own place in the complex cuisine of your people. The peppers are arranged like jewels, their glossy surfaces catching the light, their scents mixing in the air like incense. A young man demonstrates the preparation of lull, the sacred sauce that transforms simple ingredients into food fit for the gods. He grinds cacao beans with chili peppers, with spices whose names roll off his tongue like poetry. Cumin, achiote, vanilla. Each ingredient measured not by weight but by wisdom, by tradition, by the knowledge passed down through generations. You watch his hands, strong and skilled, moving with the rhythm of the grinding stone, the metate, as souled as the culture itself. The ingredients transform under his touch, becoming something greater than their individual parts, becoming medicine, becoming sacrament, becoming the physical manifestation of love and care. The scent of the mole rises, complex, rich, carrying hints of chocolate and fire, of earth and sky. Oft the marriage between the bitter and the sweet that creates all perfect flavor. You breathe deeply, drawing the fragrance into your lungs, into your memory, into the place where all perfect moments are stored. Beyond the food vendors, you find the section devoted to flowers, to beauty, to the offerings that make life sacred. Here are vendors of marigolds, their orange petals bright as flames, their scent sharp and clean, their presence a reminder that beauty is as necessary as bread, as essential as water. A woman arranges her flowers with the precision of a priest, each bloom placed with intention, with prayer, with the understanding that beauty heals, that colour feeds the soul, that fragrance carries messages between the human and divine worlds. Her hands move like a dancer's, graceful, reverent, creating patterns that please the eye and nourish the spirit. You select a small bouquet, marigolds mixed with jasmine, with the tiny white flowers that bloom only in the morning, that carry the scent of new beginnings, of hope, of the eternal possibility of joy. The woman wraps them in a corn husk, her fingers quick and skilled, her smile warm as she accepts your payment of cacao beans. The flowers rest in your satchel, their fragrance mixing with the scent of the beans, creating a perfume that speaks of earth and sky, of human work and divine blessing, of the sacred exchange that makes all life possible. You carry them carefully, knowing they will grace the altar in your small home, will offer their beauty to the gods, will remind you of this perfect morning. Moving on, you find the section devoted to textiles, to the cloth that protects and adorns the body, that carries the stories of the people woven into every thread. Here are bolts of cotton, soft as clouds, white as morning mist, ready to be dyed with the colours of the earth, the colours of the sky, the colours of the sacred corn. A master weaver demonstrates her craft, her hands moving with hypnotic rhythm, in and out, creating patterns that tell the story of the rain god, of the corn goddess, of the eternal dance between earth and sky. The fabric grows under her hands, thread by thread, row by row, like a prayer made visible, like a song made tangible. You watch her work, mesmerized by the rhythm, by the transformation of simple threads into complex beauty, by the magic that turns cotton into cloth, cloth into garment, garment into protection, into identity, into the physical manifestation of culture itself. The weaver's daughter sits beside her, learning the ancient patterns, her young hands not yet skilled but eager, dedicated, understanding that she is receiving more than technique, more than craft, but the very soul of her people, the wisdom of generations made manifest in warp and weft. Near the textile vendors, you find the section devoted to pottery, to the clay vessels that hold water, food, the precious substances that sustain life. Here are bowls and cups, jars and plates, all shaped by hands that understand the sacred nature of containment, of holding, of providing the vessel in which transformation can occur. A potter works at his wheel, his hands wet with clay, his movements smooth and sure, coaxing the earth into forms that will serve the people, that will hold the sacred chocolate, the blessed corn, the water that carries prayers to the gods. The clay responds to his touch, rising, spinning, becoming something new, something useful, something beautiful. You select a small cup, perfect for drinking chocolate, its surface smooth and unglazed, its weight comfortable in your hands, its shape pleasing to the eye. The potter smiles as you pay, his hands still wet with clay, his eyes bright with the satisfaction of creation, of work that serves the community, that transforms earth into art. The cup joins the flowers in your satchel, both purchases made not from necessity but from appreciation, from the understanding that beauty and utility can be one, that the sacred and the practical are not separate, that every object can be a prayer, every exchange a blessing. As you move through the marketplace, you notice the rhythm of the place, the gentle flow of people, the soft voices, the unhurried pace that allows for greeting, for conversation, for the human connections that make commerce sacred. This is not merely buying and selling, but community, relationship, the weaving together of lives through the exchange of goods and services. An old man sells obsidian, the volcanic glass that cuts cleaner than any metal, that reflects light like frozen water, that holds the fire of the earth in its dark depths. He shapes the pieces with infinite patience, chipping away tiny flakes, creating blades, mirrors, jewelry that catches the light and throws it back transformed. You watch his hands, gnarled with age but steady, skilled, guided by decades of experience, by the knowledge passed down from his father, his grandfather, back to the first people who learned to work with this gift of the fire gods. Each strike of his hammer is precise, purposeful, part of the ancient dance between human skill and natural material. The obsidian mirrors catch the light, throwing back images that waver and shift, that show the world transformed, made mysterious, made magical. You see your own face reflected, multiplied, fragmented into a dozen versions, each one slightly different, each one part of the whole, each one a facet of the single jewel of existence. Moving on, you find the section devoted to feathers, to the rainbow plumage that adorns the nobles, that carries prayers to the sky, that transforms humans into birds, into messengers, into bridges between earth and heaven. Here are feathers from quetzals, their green more brilliant than any gem, their beauty almost too intense to look at directly. The feather worker, the tlequilo, arranges his materials with the reverence of a priest, each feather placed with intention, with prayer, with the understanding that beauty is sacred, that colour is medicine, that the work of his hands creates more than ornament, but transformation, but magic, but the visible presence of the divine. You watch him work, see how his hands move like a healer's, touching each feather with gentleness, with respect, with the knowledge that he is working with gifts from the sky gods, with the rainbow itself made manifest, with the dreams of birds who touch the face of the Sioux. The marketplace surrounds you, embraces you, welcomes you into its ancient rhythm. You are part of its breathing, part of its flow, part of the great dance of giving and receiving that makes community possible. Every purchase is a prayer, every exchange a blessing, every moment a connection to the sacred web of life. As the morning progresses, the sounds of the marketplace create a symphony, the soft voices of vendors, the gentle laughter of children, the musical clink of cacao beans, the whispered prayers of those who understand that all exchange is sacred, that all commerce is communion, that all trade is transformation. You find a quiet corner, a small plaza within the marketplace, where a fountain plays, where the sound of water creates a space of peace, of reflection, of rest. The fountain is carved from a single block of basalt, its surface polished smooth. You sit on the stone edge, feeling the cool mist on your face, listening to the eternal song of water, the music that has played since the world began, that will play until the world ends, that connects all moments, all places, all hearts in the rhythm of falling and rising, of giving and receiving. The water speaks in many voices, the deep bass of the main fall, the soprano tinkle of smaller streams, the percussion of droplets hitting stone, all harmonizing in the ancient song of elemental music. You close your eyes, let the sound wash over you, through you, carrying away the small tensions of the morning, the minor worries, the insignificant concerns that sometimes cloud the perfect clarity of being. A small bird drinks from the fountain, its feathers blue-green like the deep lake, its movements quick and delicate, its presence a reminder that this space serves all life, all thirst, all need for the sacred water that sustains existence. The bird looks at you with bright eyes, unafraid, recognizing something peaceful in your stillness, something trustworthy in your quiet breathing. The plaza around the fountain is paved with smooth stones, each one placed with care, with intention, with the understanding that every surface we walk on is sacred, that every step is a prayer, that every moment of contact between foot and earth is a blessing both given and received. Around the edges of the plaza, small altars hold offerings, flowers, incense, bowls of water, gifts left by those who understand that commerce without gratitude is empty, that exchange without reverence is meaningless, that prosperity without spiritual acknowledgement is hollow. You reach into your satchel, pull out one of the marigolds you purchased, place it gently on the nearest altar. The flower glows in the morning light, its orange petals bright as flames. Its scent mixing with the copal incense that burns in small clay bowls, creating a perfume that speaks of earth and sky, of human gratitude and divine blessing. The offering made, you feel the completion of a circle, the closing of a loop that began with your work in the temple gardens, continued through your journey to the marketplace, and now finds its fulfillment in this small act of gratitude, of recognition, of connection to the sacred web that holds all life. You return to your exploration of the marketplace, but now your movement has a different quality, more peaceful, more purposeful, more connected to the deep rhythms that underlie all surface activity. You are not merely shopping, but participating in the ancient dance of community, of sharing, of the mutual support that makes civilization possible. In the section devoted to medicine, you find vendors of herbs, of roots, of the plants that heal both body and spirit. Here are bundles of sage, its grey-green leaves holding the power to cleanse, to purify, to carry prayers to the spirit world. The vendor, an elderly woman with knowing eyes, speaks softly of each plant's properties, its uses, its sacred associations. You select a small bundle of copal, the tree resin that burns with sweet smoke, that carries prayers upward, that creates the bridge between human longing and divine response. The woman wraps it carefully, her movements ritualistic, reverent, understanding that she is providing not just a product, but a sacrament, a means of communion with the sacred. The copal joins your other purchases, its weight small but significant, its presence a reminder that the physical and spiritual worlds are not separate, that matter and spirit dance together in every moment, that the sacred can be held in the hand, carried in the heart, shared with the community. As you move through the marketplace, you notice how the vendors interact with each other, how they share news, offer assistance, maintain the relationships that make this place more than just a location for commerce. They are a community, a family, a network of mutual support that extends far beyond the simple exchange of goods. A young mother struggles with her baskets, her baby crying, her older child tugging at her skirt, without being asked. Nearby vendors offer help, one taking the baby, another entertaining the child, a third helping to arrange the baskets. The assistance is given freely, joyfully, with the understanding that we are all connected, that helping another is helping ourselves, that community is not just an idea, but a living practice. You watch this spontaneous cooperation, this natural kindness, this embodiment of the values that make your society strong, resilient, beautiful. The marketplace is more than a place of trade. It is a school, a temple, a demonstration of how humans can live together in harmony, in mutual support, in shared prosperity. The sun climbs higher, and the morning market begins to reach its peak activity. But even at its busiest, the place maintains its peaceful rhythm, its gentle flow, its understanding that hurry destroys the sacred quality of exchange, that rushing breaks the connections that make commerce meaningful. You find yourself drawn to the section devoted to music, to the instruments that create the sounds that lift the heart, that connect the earth to the sky, that give voice to the emotions that cannot be spoken. Here are drums, their skins taut and responsive, their voices deep and primal, their rhythm the heartbeat of the earth itself. A musician demonstrates a flute, its wooden body carved with symbols, its voice sweet and clear, its song carrying the listener to places beyond the physical world, to realms where music and spirit dance together, where sound becomes light, where melody becomes prayer. You listen to the flute's voice, feel it resonate in your chest, in your bones, in the part of you that remembers the first music, the original song that called the world into being. The melody is simple, ancient, timeless, speaking directly to the heart without the need for words, for explanation, for anything but pure listening. The musician's fingers move with practiced grace, finding the holes, creating the patterns, weaving the sounds that have comforted, inspired, uplifted your people for countless generations. His eyes are closed, his face peaceful, his entire being focused on the single task of creating beauty, of offering the gift. You continue your wandering, your exploration, your participation in the great dance of the marketplace. Each step reveals new wonders, new connections, New reminders of the abundance that flows when people work together, when they share their gifts, when they understand that prosperity is not about accumulation, but about circulation, about the flow of goods and services, of care and attention, of love and respect. In the section devoted to children, you find toys, games, small objects designed to delight, to educate, to prepare the young for their roles in the community. Here are carved animals, their forms simplified but recognizable, their surfaces smooth and warm, their presence a reminder that play is sacred, that joy is essential, that childhood is not preparation for life but life itself. A craftsman carves a small jaguar. Its body powerful, even in miniature. Its face serene. Its presence commanding respect. The wood is precious, mahogany from the southern forests. Its grain flowing like water. Its colour rich as chocolate. Its scent carrying hints of the jungle, of rain, of the wild places where the jaguar rules. You watch the craftsman's hands, skilled and patient, coaxing the jaguar from the wood, revealing the form that was always there, waiting, hidden, ready to emerge under the touch of someone who understands, who listens, who works with the material rather than against it. The jaguar takes shape, stroke by stroke, cut by cut, becoming more than wood, becoming symbol, becoming the embodiment of power, of mystery, of the wild wisdom that lives in the hearts of all creatures, that connects the tame to the wild, the human to the divine. The marketplace flows around you, embraces you, includes you in its ancient rhythm. You are part of its breathing, part of its pulse, part of the great dance of exchange that makes community possible. Every purchase is a prayer, every conversation a blessing, every moment a connection to the sacred web of life. As the morning reaches its peak, you find yourself ready to return home, to the quiet sanctuary of your own space, to the peaceful reflection that follows engagement with the world. Your satchel holds the treasures of the morning, the flowers, the cup, the copal, the small reminders of abundance, of beauty, of the connections that make life meaningful. You retrace your steps, following the stone paths, the ancient causeways, the routes that connect the marketplace to the temple to the lake to the eternal cycle of water and sky, earth and heaven, human effort and divine blessing. The causeway stretches before you, its stones warm in the rising sun, its surface smooth and welcoming, its direction clear and purposeful. You walk slowly, savouring the transition. The movement from the busy marketplace to the peaceful temple, from the world of commerce to the world of contemplation, from the dance of community to the silence of the sacred. The lake stretches on both sides, its surface now dancing with small wavelets, its colour shifting from mirror smooth to textured silver, its voice whispering the ancient songs of water and wind, of time and tides, of the eternal rhythm that underlies all change, all growth. Your footsteps echo softly on the stones, each step a meditation, a prayer, a connection to all who have walked this path before, all who will walk it after. You are part of the great procession, the endless flow of pilgrims, of seekers, of those who understand that the journey itself is the destination, that the walking itself is the prayer. The temple complex grows larger as you approach, its pyramids reaching toward the sky, its gardens flowing down the sides like green waterfalls, its courtyards welcoming you home to the place where your work, your life, your deepest connections reside. You enter the temple grounds, feeling the shift in energy, the movement from the active to the contemplative, from the social to the sacred, from the marketplace of goods to the marketplace of the spirit. Here, in the quiet courtyards, among the ancient trees, surrounded by the symbols of the eternal, you find the peace that makes all other activities meaningful. The cacao trees welcome you back, their leaves rustling in recognition, their presence familiar, comforting, grounding. You have traveled to the marketplace, engaged with the world, participated in the dance of community, and now you return to the source, to the center, to the place where all journeys begin and end. You sit beneath your favorite tree, the ancient one with the broad canopy, the wise bark, the patient presence that has watched over countless mornings, countless workers, countless moments of perfect peace. Your back rests against the trunk, your breathing slows, your heart finds its natural rhythm. The morning light filters through the leaves, creating patterns of gold and green, of shadow and brightness, of the eternal dance between light and dark that gives shape to the world, that makes beauty possible, that creates the conditions in which all life can flourish. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you rest against the tree, feeling its ancient strength, its quiet wisdom, its deep connection to the earth below, to the sky above, to the sacred web of life that holds all things in perfect balance. You drift, gently, peacefully, into the embrace of the morning, where all journeys are complete, all seeking finds its object, all hearts find their home, in the eternal now, in the perfect peace, in the sacred silence where all dreams are born. You wake slowly, gently, from your rest beneath the ancient cacao tree. The afternoon sun filters through the leaves, creating patterns of gold and green, of light and shadow, that dance across your face, across the stone paths, across the quiet courtyards, where the sacred work of the temple continues. The air has grown warmer, softer, filled with the scent of blooming flowers, of copal incense, of the mysterious fragrance that rises from the earth when the sun reaches its peak, when the day finds its center, when all of creation pauses to breathe in the fullness of light. You rise slowly, feeling the ancient tree's energy still flowing through you, its wisdom, its patience, its deep connection to the rhythms of growth and rest, of work and contemplation, of the eternal cycle that turns like a great wheel, carrying all life through its seasons, its transformations, its perfect timing. Today is special, sacred, for it is the day of the chocolate ceremony, when the cacao beans are transformed into the drink of the gods, when the bitter and the sweet are married, when the earth and sky meet in the sacred vessel of the clay cup, when humans taste the nectar that connects them to the divine. You make your way to the ceremonial kitchen, the space set apart from the everyday, designed for the sacred work of transformation. The kitchen is open to the sky, its roof supported by carved pillars, its floor made of smooth stone, its walls decorated with symbols of the cacao tree, of the rain god, of the feathered serpent who brought this gift from the heavens. In the center of the kitchen, a fire burns low and steady, its flames dancing in the still air, its smoke rising straight up toward the sky, carrying prayers, carrying the essence of the dot. Sacred work that will unfold here. The fire is fed with precious wood, copal, cedar, hardwoods that burn clean and sweet, that honor the sacredness of the ceremony. The grinding stones, the metates, are arranged in a circle around the fire, their surfaces worn smooth by centuries of use, their basalt darkness holding the memory of countless ceremonies, countless transformations, countless moments when the sacred has been made manifest in the world of taste, of nourishment, of communion. You approach your grinding stone, running your hands over its surface, feeling the slight depressions, the gentle curves, the places where your grandmother's hands worked, where your mother's hands learned, where your own hands have found their rhythm, their purpose, their connection to the ancient art of transformation. The cacao beans wait in clay bowls, their surfaces dark and glossy, their weight substantial, their potential unlimited. These beans have travelled from the sacred trees, through the careful harvest, through the patient drying, through the gentle roasting that awakens their flavour, their essence, their readiness for the final transformation. You select the beans with care, feeling each one, testing its weight, its readiness, its willingness to give up its form, to become something greater, something more than the sum of its parts. The beans are warm, alive, filled with the energy of the sun, of the rain, of the earth that nourished them, of the tree that gave them life. The first step is the blessing, the recognition that what you are about to do is sacred, that the transformation you will guide is not merely mechanical, but spiritual, not just physical, but metaphysical, not simply cooking, but alchemy, the marriage of matter and spirit, of human skill and divine gift. You hold the beans in your cupped hands, feeling their weight, their warmth, their potential. The words of the blessing rise from deep within you, in the ancient language, in Nahuatl, in the tongue that knows the true names of things, that speaks directly to the heart of the mystery. Tlazohamati cacao. Thank you, cacao, for your gift, for your sacrifice, for your willingness to transform, to become the bridge between earth and sky, between human and divine, between the bitter and the sweet, between the mortal and the eternal. The beans rest in your palms, and you feel their response, their readiness, their joy at fulfilling their purpose, their destiny, their reason for being. They are eager for the transformation, eager to become more than they are, eager to serve the sacred purpose for which they were born. You place the beans on the metate, their dark surfaces contrasting with the grey stone, their forms individual yet unified, each one unique yet part of the whole, like people gathered for ceremony, like thoughts arising in meditation, like moments of beauty that compose a perfect day. The grinding begins slowly, gently, with respect for the beans, for the stone, for the ancient rhythm that has guided this work for generations. Your hands move in the pattern learned in childhood, the pattern that connects you to your ancestors, to the unbroken chain of knowledge, of skill, of devotion that flows through the generations like water through stone. The beans resist at first, maintaining their form, their individuality, their separate existence. But gradually, under the patient pressure, under the gentle persistence, under the rhythm that matches the beating of your heart, they begin to yield, to soften, to release their essence, their hidden nature, their willingness to become. The sound of grinding fills the kitchen, a soft whisper, a gentle murmur, the voice of transformation itself. It is the sound of walls breaking down, of boundaries dissolving, of the many becoming one, of the potential becoming actual, of the sacred becoming manifest. Other workers join you, each at their own metate, each following the same ancient rhythm, each participating in the same sacred work. But there is no hurry, no competition, no sense of urgency. The work unfolds at its own pace, following the natural rhythm of transformation, the organic timing that cannot be forced, cannot be rushed, can only be honored. You add spices gradually, carefully, each one measured not by weight, but by intuition, by tradition, by the knowledge that lives in your hands, in your heart, in the part of you that remembers the original recipe, the first chocolate, the drink that the gods themselves enjoyed in the beginning of time. A pinch of vanilla, its fragrance sweet and complex, its essence extracted from the pods of climbing orchids, its presence a reminder that the most precious gifts often come in the smallest packages, that intensity is not about quantity, but about quality, about the concentration of essence, of spirit, of the divine spark that animates all things. A touch of chili, its heat awakening, its fire a reminder that transformation requires energy, requires the spark that lights the process, that warms the heart, that kindles the flame of life, of passion, of the sacred fire that burns at the center of all existence. A whisper of cinnamon, its scent warm and comforting, its presence a bridge between the bitter and the sweet, between the earthly and the heavenly, between the wild and the tame, between the forest and the temple, between the raw and the refined. The grinding continues, the beans yielding more completely, their oils emerging, their essence releasing, their transformation from solid to liquid, from individual to unified, from simple to complex, from ordinary to sacred, unfolding with the patience of seasons, the inevitability of sunrise, the certainty of love. The pace that forms is dark, rich, aromatic, alive with possibility. It holds the essence of the tree, of the sun, of the rain, of the earth, of the hands that tended, that harvested, that prepared, that transformed. It is more than food, more than drink, more than nourishment. It is communion, connection, the physical manifestation of the sacred. You add water, slowly, carefully, each drop measured, each addition considered, each moment of mixing a prayer, a blessing, a recognition that water is life, that combination creates possibility, that the marriage of elements creates something greater than either achieve alone. The water is sacred, drawn from the spring that feeds the temple, blessed by the priests, charged with the energy of prayer, of intention, of the collective hope of the community. It carries the essence of the mountain, of the sky, of the rain that falls as blessing, as gift, as the tears of joy that the gods shed when they see their children working together, creating together, sharing together. The mixing requires patience, skill, the ability to feel when the proportions are right, when the texture is perfect, when the transformation is complete. Your hands know this moment. Recognize it. Celebrate it. The instant when separate elements become one. When the alchemy is complete. When the sacred drink is born. The chocolate that emerges is perfect. Its color deep and rich, its texture smooth and flowing, its aroma complex and inviting, its presence a reminder that the greatest gifts require time, patience, skill, love, devotion, the willingness to participate in the sacred work of transformation. You pour the chocolate into clay vessels, each one made by the potters of the temple, each one blessed, each one designed for this specific purpose, this sacred function. This moment of communion. The vessels are warm, welcoming, ready to hold the gift, to contain the blessing, to serve the community. The first cup is offered to the gods, placed on the altar, surrounded by flowers, by incense, by the prayers of those who understand that all gifts must be acknowledged, all blessings must be shared, all abundance must be offered back to the source from which it came. The second cup is offered to the ancestors, to those who came before, who developed the knowledge, who perfected the techniques, who preserved the traditions, who passed down the sacred trust that makes this moment possible. Their spirits are present, their wisdom guides your hands, their love flows through the work. The third cup is for the community, for the priests, for the workers, for all who participate in the sacred life of the temple, who contribute their skills, their devotion, their presence to the great work of maintaining the connection between earth and sky, between human and divine, between the everyday and the eternal. You lift your own cup, feeling its warmth, its weight, its significance. The chocolate within is dark, mysterious, aromatic, alive with the energy of transformation, with the essence of the sacred, with the gift of the gods made manifest in the world of taste, of nourishment, of communion. The first sip is a prayer, a blessing, a moment of perfect communion. The chocolate flows over your tongue, its flavor complex, layered, revealing itself slowly, gradually, like a mystery unfolding, like a secret being shared, like a gift being opened with reverence, with gratitude, with joy. The taste is beyond description, beyond words, beyond the ability of language to capture. It is bitter and sweet, earthly and divine, familiar and mysterious, simple and complex. All contradictions resolved, all opposites unified, all separation dissolved in the sacred act of tasting, of receiving, of being nourished. The chocolate warms you from within, its energy spreading through your body, through your spirit, through the part of you that connects to all things, that recognizes the sacred in the everyday, that finds the divine in the simple act of drinking, of sharing, of communion. Around you, others drink their chocolate, their faces peaceful, their eyes bright, their spirits lifted by the sacred beverage, by the moment of communion, by the shared experience of transformation, of blessing, of connection to the source of all nourishment, all wisdom, all love. The ceremony continues, but without hurry, without urgency, following the natural rhythm of sacred time, the timing that allows for full appreciation, for deep communion, for the kind of nourishment that feeds not just the body, but the soul, the spirit, the part of you that connects to the eternal. You drink slowly, savoring each sip, each moment, each sensation, allowing the chocolate to work its magic, to open your heart, to quiet your mind, to connect you to the great web of life, of love, of the sacred energy that flows through all things, that connects all beings, that makes all existence one. The afternoon light grows softer, more golden, more mystical, filtering through the leaves, through the smoke of the sacred fire. You set down your empty cup, feeling satisfied, nourished, blessed, connected to the sacred source, to the community, to the ancestors, to the generations yet to come who will continue this sacred work, this ancient art, this perfect gift of transformation. The fire burns lower, its flames dancing gently, its smoke rising straight up toward the sky, carrying prayers, carrying gratitude, carrying the essence of the afternoon's sacred work, of the communion that has taken place, of the blessing that has been shared. You clean your metati, your tools, your workspace, with the same reverence you brought to the creation, understanding that the sacred includes all aspects of the work, the beginning, the middle, the end, the preparation, the transformation, the completion, the return to readiness. The grinding stone is smooth, clean, ready for the next ceremony, the next transformation, the next moment of sacred work. You run your hands over its surface, feeling gratitude, feeling connection, feeling the continuity that links this moment to all the moments that have come before, all the moments that will come after. The kitchen grows quiet, peaceful, filled with the contentment that follows sacred work, meaningful activity, the kind of labor that nourishes the soul, that connects the worker to the work, that makes every action a prayer, every moment a blessing, every breath a communion with the divine. You step outside, into the garden, into the afternoon light, into the peaceful time when the day begins to turn toward evening, when the light grows softer, when the shadows grow longer, when the world begins to prepare for rest, for sleep, for the gentle dreams that restore the soul. The cacao trees welcome you back, their leaves rustling in the gentle breeze, their presence familiar, comforting, grounding. You have completed the sacred work, have participated in the ancient ceremony, have shared in the communion that connects all things, that makes all existence one. You sit beneath your favorite tree, feeling the satisfaction of work well done, of service rendered, of gifts shared, of the sacred made manifest in the world, of taste, of nourishment, of community, of love that flows through all things, that connects all beings, that makes all life sacred. The afternoon light filters through the leaves, creating patterns of gold and green, of shadow and brightness, of the eternal dance between light and dark, between activity and rest, between the sacred work of transformation and the blessed peace of completion. Your breathing slows, deepens, matches the rhythm of the tree, the gentle pulse of sap rising, leaves breathing, roots drinking from the sacred earth, participating in the eternal cycle of growth and rest, of work and contemplation, of giving and receiving. The chocolate still warms you. Its energy still flows through your body, through your spirit, through the part of you that connects to the eternal, that recognizes the sacred in the everyday, that finds the divine in the simple act of sharing, of communion, of love made manifest. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you rest against the tree, feeling its ancient strength, its quiet wisdom, its deep connection to the earth below, to the sky above, to the sacred web of life that holds all things in perfect balance, in perfect love, in perfect peace. You drift gently, peacefully, into the embrace of the afternoon, where all work is sacred, all sharing is communion, all moments are blessed in the eternal now, in the perfect peace, in the sacred silence where all love is born, where all dreams find their home. You wake slowly, gently, from your afternoon rest beneath the cacao tree. The sun has begun its descent toward the western horizon, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose, of gold and crimson, colours that speak of completion, of fulfillment, of the day's journey from dawn to dusk, from beginning to blessed ending. The evening air is soft, warm, filled with the scent of flowers that bloom only as the sun sets. Night-blooming jasmine, evening primrose, the mysterious fragrances that bridge the world of day and the world of night, that connect the active hours to the restful ones, that prepare the spirit for the gentle transition into sleep. You rise slowly, feeling the day's contentment in your bones, in your breath, in the part of you that has been nourished by meaningful work, by sacred ceremony, by the communion with the divine that comes through chocolate, through community, through the simple act of participating in the eternal dance of transformation. The temple gardens are peaceful, bathed in the golden light of evening, transformed by the angle of the sun, by the quality of light that makes everything more beautiful, more mysterious, more sacred. The cacao trees stand like silent guardians, their leaves rustling softly in the evening breeze, their presence a reminder of the day's blessings, of the sacred work completed, of the gifts shared. You walk slowly through the gardens, your feet finding the familiar paths, the stone steps worn smooth by countless pilgrims, countless workers, countless souls who have found peace in this sacred space. Each step is a meditation, a prayer, a connection to all who have walked these paths before, all who will walk them after. The flowers in the garden seem to glow in the evening light, their colours more intense, more vibrant, more alive. Marigolds burn like flames, their orange petals catching the last rays of the sun, their scent sharp and clean, their presence a reminder that beauty is a gift, that colour is medicine, that flowers are prayers made visible. You pause beside a fountain, its water catching the light, creating patterns of liquid gold, of flowing amber, of light made manifest in the eternal dance of water and air, of gravity and grace, of the elements working together to create beauty, to create music, to create the conditions for peace. The sound of the fountain is hypnotic, soothing, the eternal voice of water speaking the ancient language of flow, of yield, of the wisdom that comes from following the natural path, from moving with grace, from finding the lowest place, the most humble position, the place of service and surrender. You sit on the stone edge, feeling the coolness of the stone, the warmth of the air, the gentle mist that rises from the water, that carries the prayers of the day upward, toward the sky, toward the gods who watch over the sacred city, who bless the work of human hands, who smile upon the communion of earth and sky. The reflection of the sky dances in the water, broken and reformed by the movement of the fountain, by the play of light and shadow, by the eternal dance of elements that creates beauty, that creates mystery, that creates the conditions in which the sacred can be glimpsed, can be experienced, can believed. As the evening deepens, the first stars appear. Tiny points of light in the darkening sky, messengers from the realm of the ancestors, from the place where the gods dwell, from the source of all light, all wisdom, all love that flows through the universe like water through stone, like music through silence, like grace through surrender. You remember the stories, the ancient tales of how the stars were created, how the gods placed them in the sky as guideposts, as reminders, as signs of the eternal order that underlies all apparent chaos, all seeming randomness, all the beautiful complexity of existence. The constellation of the jaguar begins to rise, its pattern familiar, comforting, a reminder of the wild wisdom that lives in the heart of all things, that connects the civilized to the primal, the tame to the wild, the known to the mysterious, the human to the divine. You walk toward the edge of the temple complex, where the stone gives way to the wooden docks, where the land meets the water, where the sacred city touches the eternal lake, where the boundary between earth and sky, between human and divine, between the constructed and the natural, dissolves into unity. Your canoe waits where you left it, tied to the carved stone post, rocking gently in the small waves, ready for the evening journey, for the return to the water, for the communion with the lake that has cradled the city, that has nourished the people, that has reflected the sky for countless generations. You untie the rope, feeling its wet roughness, its faithful strength, its willingness to serve, to connect, to hold fast when needed, to release when the time comes. The knot comes undone easily, naturally, like all things that are meant to be, like all actions that flow from the heart, like all movements that follow the natural rhythm of existence. The canoe accepts your weight, settles into the familiar pattern, the ancient relationship between human and vessel, between passenger and carrier, between the one who guides and the one who supports, between the dreamer and the dream, between the soul and the body that carries it through the waters of existence. You push off from the dock, feeling the immediate response of the water, the way it yields, the way it supports, the way it carries you into the larger rhythm, the greater flow, the eternal current that connects all things, that moves all things, that guides all things toward their perfect destination. The paddle slips into the water, almost without resistance, creating gentle ripples that spread outward, that carry your movement, your intention, your prayers toward the far shores, toward the horizon, toward the place where water meets sky, where earth meets heaven, where the finite meets the infinite. The temple complex recedes slowly, its lights beginning to twinkle, its fires beginning to glow, its presence a beacon, a reminder, a promise that the sacred exists, that it can be built, that it can be maintained, that it can be shared, that it can be lived, that it can be experienced as the natural condition of existence. The lake stretches before you, vast, mysterious, alive with the reflected light of the setting sun, with the dance of small waves, with the eternal movement of water that has no beginning, no end, no separate existence apart from the great cycle of evaporation and rain, of rising and falling, of the eternal circulation that connects all things. You paddle slowly, without urgency, without destination, simply following the natural movement of the water, the gentle current that carries you toward the center of the lake, toward the place where the water is deepest, where the mystery is most. The air grows cooler, fresher, filled with the scent of water, of reeds, of the mysterious life that lives beneath the surface, that follows rhythms older than human memory, that connects this moment to the beginning of time, to the first waters, to the source from which all life springs. A fish jumps nearby, its silver body catching the last light, its movement a prayer, a celebration, a reminder that joy is natural, that play is sacred, that the dance of life continues beneath the surface, beyond the reach of worry, beyond the grasp of fear, in the realm of pure existence, pure being, pure peace. The ripples from the fish's jump spread outward, growing larger, growing fainter, until they disappear into the general movement of the lake, into the great breathing of the water, into the eternal pulse that connects all things, that moves through all things. That is the heartbeat of existence itself. You rest the paddle across the canoe. Let yourself drift. Let the current carry you. Let the water make the decisions. Let the lake guide you toward whatever destination is meant for this evening. This moment. This perfect completion of a perfect day. The canoe moves gently, rocking with the rhythm of the water, carrying you deeper into the lake, deeper into the evening, deeper into the peace that comes when effort ceases, when striving stops. When the soul finds its natural rhythm, its perfect place, its eternal home, the sun continues its descent, its light becoming more golden, more mystical, more beautiful, painting the water in shades of amber and rose, of gold and crimson, of colours that have no names, that speak directly to the heart, that bypass the mind and touch the soul with their beauty. You lie back in the canoe, feeling the wooden hull crack